Hey guys, welcome back to the Lost Artistry Lash channel. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Caitlin and I have something really exciting coming to you today. We just dropped a brand new product that you guys have been asking for, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. Okay guys, the product drop, I'm going to drop it in just one sec, but I want you guys to know what you're getting yourself into watching this video today. So even if you're not a lover of the general type of product that I'm about to talk about, you still might want to watch this video because I'm going to do a mapping that I have never seen done before. I created it in my sleep last night, and if it works out well, which it might, and it might not, and that's okay too, because honestly, innovation comes with failure. But if it works out, it's going to be so good. And regardless, it's going to be really interesting to watch. Okay, without further ado, what are we launching? We are launching Flat Lash Premade fans. Insert music. First off, let's look at this product for a second. Guys, at Lost Artistry, we're always innovating and updating our products. And I am so excited about these new windows that we have in our trays. Are you kidding me? It's so cute. It looks amazing. And the products themselves. So the thing about Flat Lash Premade fans that makes them different from our standard Premade fans is that they're legitimately made with flat lashes. And for those of you who aren't super familiar with what flat lashes are, they're a darker classic lash, but that offer 40% less weight to your set. So you can give your clients a darker result without necessarily compromising the natural lash health. So that's what makes these so cool. So you're gonna be like, ah, when I tell you the diameter, they're 0.15 diameter flat lashes. Ah! Not traditionally used for volume, but the weights are low. So guys, one thing I will say about these though, if you have a client who has really fine natural lashes, still stick on the lower dimension side. Reason being is because it's not just about the weight of the lashes that you're using, it's also about the thickness of the base. So we call this a T-bar. So let's say a natural lash is this thick. Obviously no natural lash is this thick, but just for example, what you want to try to do is use a lash that doesn't exceed the thickness of the diameter of the natural lash. So this would be okay, right? But if I were to use a lash that was this thick, see how I have an edge here and an edge here? That's a no-go. So just make sure that your lashes that you use, no matter if you're using these Flat Lash Premades, handmade fans, classics, anything, just really try to make sure that your natural lash and your extension have the same base thickness, not much thicker. You can use a third thicker than the natural lash, but nothing more than that. That's really important because there will be little areas for the brush that can hitch on and kind of pull out the natural lash. Okay, so my client's gonna come in pretty quick. I've already set up all my lash products. I do that before my client comes in to save time during my service. But before she actually walks in, I want to walk you through my mapping a little bit. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna draw this on the iPad. I might have to use a few different iPads, but I wanted to quickly show you on my iPad. It's funny because I was talking about iPads that go under the client's eyes, now I'm talking about an iPad. But I wanted to quickly show you on the iPad so that you can follow along with what my mapping is going to look like. So I've already said I'm doing a hybrid lash set. So to stick with the flat lash theme, my classic lashes are going to be flat lashes. Tray looks a little like this. And I'm gonna be working with a mix of 0.15 and 0.20 diameter flat lashes. My 0.20s will only go on the stronger, thicker natural lashes, and my 0.15 will be for the weaker natural lashes. Same with my premades that I'm using, the Flat Lash Premades. I have 3D and 5D out. My client sometimes has finer natural lashes, so I might end up just working with 3Ds. It'll still look nice and dark, but if she does have lots of healthy, thick natural lashes as well, I'm gonna blend in some 5Ds on the thicker lashes. So I'll touch base with you later once I actually get to working because you really don't truly know until you're isolating the lashes. Okay, so what I've done here is broken it into sections. So number 1 here is my top layer. Number 2 is my middle layer. And number 3, I'm writing upside down right now, so it's like a chicken scratch, but that's okay. Are they backwards? Whatever, you know what I'm meaning. Anyways, all right, now you guys get to know Caitlin a little bit. Okay, my top layer. So first of all, I'm using all C curl. The reason why I'm using all C curl is, let's look at my client's eye shape here for a second. So she has more of a rounded eye shape, and her natural lashes, I wouldn't say they're lifted, nor are they downturned. They just kind of grow straight out from the follicle. So I know the curl is gonna look true to what I would expect it to. So it's gonna be soft, but just offer a tiny amount of lift. People who have really rounded eyes, sometimes it's not necessary to offer additional lift, so that's why I'm working with C curl today. And she's gonna get the darkness from the flat lashes that we're using. She has a ton of natural lashes too, and she doesn't like an over dramatic lash finish, so I think this is gonna be a perfect choice. Anyhow, looking at layer 1. So notice this pyramid type effect that I've got going on. At the top is my longest length. So we're actually gonna work with a squirrel eye mapping. Notice that my shorter lengths are on the side, my longer lengths starting just after the highest arch of the eye. And that's my shaping. So I got a squirrel eye shaping, which is gonna suit her because she does have more of a rounded eye shape. Let's look at my pyramid here. So I've got an 11 millimeter in the middle. Again, these are all flat lashes on the top and middle layer. The bottom layer is gonna be where I put my flat pre-made fans. So that's gonna give me darkness. Guys, if you wanna add darkness to any of your lash sets, using volume on the bottom layer is definitely the go. The bottom layer in shorter lengths, that's where you're gonna get your density from. So Flat Lash Premades on the bottom, and the top layer and middle layer are all flat lashes. Flat lashes and classic lashes, side note, are the same thing. Flat lashes just offer less weight. Exact same aesthetic. If someone comes in for a classic lash set, yes, you can use flat lashes on them. So I'm gonna put my 11 millimeter down first, and I'm gonna definitely do that a little bit further away from the inner corner. The reason why is because I need enough, at least 5 lashes on the side of my pyramid to put the shorter lengths that's on the side. So see how I go 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 10, 9, 8, 7. So it's gonna create kind of this peaked effect. And then I'm gonna continue that pattern going from short up to my next longest length being 12 and back down to 8. So I always have 5 lengths in that one pyramid. So guys, if this works out well, we're gonna get a really textured effect across the top layer. But then on my middle layer, in between, notice how this 11 millimeter on the middle layer sits right in the middle of my 2 pyramids on either side. That is going to be, I'm gonna use the same length as I used for the top layer, but I've moved my spike or pyramid over a little bit so that it sits directly in the middle of my top pyramids. And the goal is for this 11 millimeter that I just drew out here to kind of sit like this. So I'll end up getting a really piecey effect where there's a longer piece and then a kind of a mid-length piece and then a longer piece and a mid-length piece. And that's gonna theoretically create a really nice amount of texture. Now guys, I need to be totally honest with you. I've never done this before. I legitimately made it up. I've never seen anyone else do this before. And sometimes it's a fail. So we'll see. I need you to stay to the end of this video to see, do I successfully execute this set? Yay or nay? You have to comment below. Let me know, is this mapping a hit or is this mapping a huge flop? It's okay to be honest too. If it's a flop, be honest, I won't be offended. But anyways, so we're gonna do that top layer and middle layer. I'm gonna get those out of the way first. This is really important. Get those out of the way first before even touching the Flat Lash Premade fans. Reason being is because these are just, the Flat Lash Premades are just to add darkness. They're not adding the pieciness to the set. So I'm gonna put those on after I finish the top and middle layer, knowing that the top and middle layer lashes were readily available for me to create these pyramid spikes. Bottom layer, honestly, I might play around with it. I am definitely gonna feather lengths, but my mapping is gonna be very basic. So following the squirrel eye shaping from 8 to probably 12 millimeters. But what I'm gonna do is take my inspection mirror when I'm actually lashing and just check to make sure, hey, do I need longer lengths anywhere? Is it looking disconnected? Is it looking good? What do I need to do in order to make sure that this set looks as good as possible? And sometimes that means improvising on command. Taking your inspection mirror, that is your best friend. Literally looks like this. And I use it all the time. The reason why it's so important, guys, is because if you look at a lash set from a lasher's point of view, so how I'm sitting right now in my chair looking down at my client, I will never be able to know from this angle what my client will see when they open their eyes. But with an inspection mirror, if you hold it beneath, you can see how the lash set's gonna look, not for you as a lash artist, but for your client when they open their eyes. And that is what's most important. You need to impress them with their eyes open, not with their eyes closed. Okay, so here is my product setup. I've specifically chosen every single one of these products for my client. So I have a ton of other products that I actually carry in our salon, but I've chosen these because my client is sensitive and because she's looking for this particular type of lash service. So first up, the glue. I always keep it in my glue home. We have new glue homes here at Lost Artistry that actually say the humidity and temperature, which is very important, guys. If you find your retention is not very good, you definitely want to keep track of your humidity and temperature because each glue has a different range that it works best in. Okay, I'm using sensitized glue for my client, Rebecca, today. The reason why is because she's actually sensitive. So the next couple products that I talk about are specifically taken out because she is a sensitive lash client. Now, when it comes to lash sensitivities, even if your client isn't sensitive, if you wanna just have like a one size fits all type product range, then I highly recommend choosing products that are sensitive. So at Lost Artistry, we have Sensitize. We also have cyano-free, which is a glue that has no cyanoacrylate. We're the only company definitely in North America that carries a cyano-free glue. Here's a photo of it on the side. Definitely our best seller, but today I'm working with Sensitize. I've always used this for Rebecca and it's been great. It is a black glue. And then I'm using Freshie as well. I'm going to take this and put it right on the side of my client's head. The thing about Freshie that's awesome is that it sucks glue fumes out of the air away from your client and away from you as the artist too if you find it hard to breathe in glue fumes all the time, and it'll suck it into the bottle. It's actually feels kind of cool. It's like gelatin. And it'll actually absorb the fumes so that you're not breathing them in as much, nor are they being attracted to your client's eyes. Great for clients who have redness after services or people who are just sensitive as a whole. I always offer a complimentary lash bath before any lash service that I do. The reason why I do it complimentary is because, guys, it's up to us to make sure we have good retention. The client shouldn't necessarily have to pay for a lash bath. It's definitely something that we should be offering to every single client, and it helps us look better within our businesses as well when we have good retention and our clients' natural lashes are nice and healthy. So Sensi Bath is my choice today. We also have a foam cleanser, but Sensi Bath I've chosen because she is a sensitive girl. Next up, let's talk about Super Bonder. So I use this before I start any lash service and when I finish. But my client today, she doesn't have really oily lashes. If she was super oily, I would start with a Bond Aid primer instead of Super Bonder, but she's not oily, so I just wanna open up the hair shaft and make sure that the glue penetrates into the lash so it'll hold better, instead of necessarily ridding the lashes of oils, dirt, debris. I've already cleaned off the dirt with our lash bath, so I'm just gonna start with Super Bonder to open up that follicle and help the glue grip instantly. It cures the glue so that there's less likelihood of sensitivities, irritation, anything like that as well. So I'm also finishing the service with this to help Rebecca make sure that she is reaction free. In order to put that on, you want to use micro swab applicators. The reason why I choose micro swab instead of the lint-free applicators is because they don't waste as much product versus the doe foot or the lint-free applicators. They're these guys. You can see they're so much thicker. So if you put the Super Bonder product, or any product for that matter, on a bigger applicator, you're gonna waste more product. So the product itself will last longer if you use micro swab applicators. And you're also much less likely to get the product in your client's eyes or on their skin, which is really important to stay away from the skin. It is an alcohol-based product, as are primers, and they can be irritating if they touch the skin or go in the eyes. So less is definitely more when working with primer or super blender. So here's my flat lashes. You can see very dark, a very stark effect when you work with flat lashes, but make sure that they're soft. So any products that you're looking for when you're shopping lash supplies, make sure that the tips feel like a client's natural lash. You don't want it to feel crunchy, just really soft but dark. And that's what the flat lashes are going to offer. So I'm gonna do something different today. I wanted to show you guys how you can set up for your service if you don't have proper lash tiles. So I'm gonna use an old pre-made fan box, and I'm just gonna use the back of that, and I'm gonna set up for the entire service on the back of my product. Just to show you that you don't have to spend as much, especially if you're a newer artist. Guys, tiles are great because you can actually open up your tile home and have them all ready to go, and it'll keep them free of dust, debris, all that stuff. But also, sometimes maybe your tiles are full, or maybe you just aren't ready to invest in a proper tile home because they can be a little bit pricey. So just grab an old tray and use the back of it. But make sure that when you're storing it, you store it away from dirt, dust, and debris buildup. So it needs to go in, say, a Tupperware container or whatever other crafty device you can come up with. Okay, so here's my pre-made fan tray. It's actually not empty, but you could totally put your lashes inside the pre-made tray if you wanted, and then just lash right from there if it was empty. But I'm just gonna use the back part of this tray for this service. So we don't actually sell this glue home. We have them though, that we are so happy to add to your order. When you make your next order, just be sure to write in there, I would love a glue home, and we will happily add this for you 100% free of charge. While supplies last, I should say that, because if we don't have them, we can't give them out. So the sooner you get in on that, the better. And I love it too because it also, you fill it with either rice or silica packs, and your glue will stay fresher for longer. And you can store up to 3 glues in it. And I'm using a completely different tweezer right now than I normally use when lashing. And the reason why is because, think about it, there's stickiness on the back of these strips, which is what keeps them in the trays. So if I am to release my lash strips with the same tweezer that I'm using, then I have glue on my tweezer, and it'll be a lot harder for me to effectively lash with that tweezer. So here's what the inside of the pre-made fan tray looks like. And looking at Rebecca's lashes, I kind of think the 3Ds are good enough. She has lots of natural lashes. I think we're gonna get a dark enough result just with the 3Ds. I might add some 5Ds in later, but I think I'll probably stick with just the 3Ds. And just to save myself time setting up, I'm just gonna use the lashes right from the tray. So I'm not even gonna take my lashes out of this pre-made fan tray. I'm just gonna lay it on the side of my client's head and lash from there. Tweezer-wise, I'm working with my all-time favorite isolation tweezer, which is our Sunset Ultra. It's like a spin on a straight and a curved tweezer. It's the perfect in-between. And I really like it because it has a fine pointed tip, which is really ideal for lashing natural lashes that are either fine or curly or absolutely anything. So it's a really versatile tweezer, and Rebecca does have fine natural lashes, but a lot of them. So it's a really good tweezer for her. And I'm also working with our Gold Member Volume Tweezer. Really tiny tip. I'm working with as little as 7mm lashes, and I find the skinny tip when working with short lengths is absolutely key. And this tweezer is great for pre-mades and classic pickups, so it's kind of just an all-around good tweezer for the service that I'm doing today. So I'm not having to go back and forth between the tweezers that I'm using. So remember earlier when I talked about how Rebecca has sensitive eyes? So for clients like her, I always take precaution, and I like to wear glue rings on my finger, but for Rebecca, I just use a tape roll and put the glue ring on the tape roll on the side of her head instead of having it on my finger near her eyes. I like to fill my glue ring up quite a bit so that I don't have to dip as far in the glue ring. All right, guys, the set is complete. I gotta be totally honest with you, I love the outcome. When you look at the full picture, it is such a beautiful set, but in my opinion, and again, please do let me know your opinion, but in my opinion, it kind of just looks like a feathered set. Next time I would maybe follow this exact same mapping because I could definitely see the shaping, but I would maybe do it with wet lashes. What do you think? Should I do that? Yes or no? But all in all, I do think that it looks like a really pretty design. You could probably get a similar aesthetic by just feathering 5 lengths per every single section without having to really think about like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like really planning it all out. I think that just feathering and then placing your classics or flats on the top and middle layer could achieve a very similar and less stressful result. But anyways, again, leave your comments below. I definitely want to hear what you think and if you want to see me recreate this mapping using different lash supplies. Oh, also, I promised you guys I would tell you if I used 5D as well as the 3D, but I got so much drama from just the 3Ds that I didn't even bother with the 5Ds, and I probably only put about maybe 30, 40 fans in the whole set. So crazy. Looking at the tray, I could probably get another 5 or 6 clients at least out of that one lash tray. So that sums up today's video. If you liked this style of video, I know it was a lot longer than most of ours, but if you liked it, please do let me know and I will happily keep this type of content coming right to your screen. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.